lived in sound for a long time. There will be some people who won't like what I say, and I couldn't care less. I would compare what happened to Ken Lay to what happened to John F. Kennedy, and I was here when that happened, or to Martin Luther King, and I was here when that happened, or to Jesus. And obviously, as a minister, I know what happened to Jesus. In all three cases, these were persons who were not brought down because of their crimes or because of their actions. They were brought down because somebody did not like who they were and what they did. My perception of the prosecution was that it was not according to law, that it was orchestrated according to somebody's motives and mission. I had lived in Houston for almost 50 years at that time, and in my 50 years I have never seen anything like that. I've watched mayors rise and fall. I've watched high-profile businessmen rise and fall, and I've seen people who have been punished for their acts, but I've never seen anybody treated like Ken Lay.
Reverend Lawson was asked to do the prayer at the Houston service, and I felt like he was talking right to George and Barbara Bush, sitting not too many rows in front of or behind the family, and basically said that it was an atrocity how the government treated Ken Lay.
When I saw the Bushes at the funeral, I think I had partly some reaction because I felt that it was regretful that they had distanced themselves from him while he was being punished, and now out of some kind of public respect, they had come to his funeral. And I really think that it was not exactly hypocritical, but I think that it certainly was a bad image for them to show up after he had been destroyed, because Ken's death was not simply a matter of a bad heart. I think Ken died of a broken heart. At Ken's funeral, I did recognize that there were a lot of Ken's supporters and there were plenty of Ken's adversaries there. Also, there were plenty of people who would remain deliberately neutral. And so I was speaking to all of that audience. And while most people knew only the media profile of Ken Lay, I knew the real Ken Lay and his family. And therefore, I was going to say some things that touched upon the real Ken Lay. I think that what I was saying then was that if you knew the real Ken Lay, then you could understand why he did not involve or he did not deserve this kind of vitriol. I think that people ought to know that he was very much loved by minorities. There were African Americans and Hispanics, low-income African Americans, low-income Hispanics who adored Ken Lay simply because he seemed to be empathetic to them and to their problems. Not only did Ken Lay give large donations to corporations and to politicians, he would take care of somebody's light bill or somebody who couldn't pay the rent. And these were unknowns, but I wish that some of that could be known by people.
And he likened it to the dragging death of James Byrd in Jasper, Texas. And as I remember, after he stopped, after Reverend Lawson finished, there was clapping in the audience.